Good morning, students. This is class 11th, subject chemistry, chapter Some Basic Concepts of Chemistry, lecture number 8. In previous lecture, we discussed about mass percentage and method to find out percentage composition of an element in a compound. Today we will discuss about stoichiometric calculation, empirical formula and limiting reagent. In the end, we will discuss homework which was given in lecture number 7, and after that I will give you homework which you have to do today. So we will start with stoichiometric calculation. So stoichiometry is a Greek word and its meaning is to measure an element. When we write a chemical equation, suppose we take example of methane, combustion of methane, then it will result into formation of carbon dioxide and water molecule. Now first we have to balance this chemical equation. So when we balance any chemical equation, we use some coefficients, like here we are using 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay. So now these coefficients which are used to balance any chemical equation are known as stoichiometric coefficients. Now here we are writing number of moles of each and every compound. Here 1 mole, 2 mole, 1 mole and 2 mole of water is present. Now you can write 1 mole in gram also. So here we will convert unit mole to gram. How? You can simply calculate molecular mass of methane. 12 plus 4 into 1, it will comes equal to 16 gram. So 1 mole of methane is equal to 16 gram of methane. The amount is same. There is just difference of unit. In this, oxygen gas is present. So here 2 moles of oxygen gas is present. So here you can write 2 into 32. Atomic mass of oxygen is 16. As 2 atoms of oxygen are combined together to form O2 molecule. So 2 into 16, 32, and number of moles are 2. So 2 into 32. That is equal to 64 gram. So now 2 moles of oxygen is equal to 64 gram of oxygen. Amount is same. There is just difference of unit. Here also you can write 1 mole of carbon dioxide is equal to 44 gram, and here 2 mole of water molecule is equal to 36 gram. Now there are number of ways by which you can explain any chemical equation. So now we will discuss these ways. Now we can explain this chemical equation in terms of mole. When we will explain this chemical equation in terms of mole, we will write here 1 mole of methane react with 2 mole of oxygen to give 1 mole of carbon dioxide and 2 moles of water. Now there is also another way that we can explain the same chemical equation in terms of molecules. So here 1 molecule of methane react with 2 molecule of oxygen to give 1 mole of carbon dioxide and 2 moles of water molecule. Now as you can see here that methane, it is present in gaseous form, and all the other reagents, they are also present in gaseous form. So whenever any compound which is present in gaseous form, we can write it into liter. 1 mole is equal to 22.7 liter. So here 22.7 liter methane reacts with 45.4 liter of oxygen, because here 2 moles of oxygen are present. So 2 into 22.7 is equal to 45.4 liter. To give 22.7 liter of carbon dioxide and 45.4 liter of water molecule, because again water is present here in 2 moles. Now next is when 16 gram of methane react with 64 gram of oxygen, then it will give 44 gram of carbon dioxide and 36 gram of water. So these are the ways by which you can explain any chemical equation. Now as you can see here that mass can be written in the terms of mole, and mole can be written in the terms of number of molecules. That means mass can convert into moles and we can convert moles into number of molecules. In backward direction also, that number of molecules can convert into moles by simple calculation, and moles can be written as in the terms of mass. Now we will move to next topic, that is empirical formula and molecular formula. So what is empirical formula? The chemical formula which express the simplest whole number ratio of atoms of the elements present in the molecule of the compound. Or in simple language, we can say that the simplest formula of any compound is known as empirical formula. And what is molecular formula? Molecular formula which represent true formula of its molecule. The actual formula of a molecule is molecular formula. Now we will understand empirical and molecular formula with the help of an example. An inorganic salt gave the following percentage composition: sodium is equal to 29.11%, sulfur 40.51%, oxygen 30.38%. Calculate the empirical formula of the salt. So to solve this question, first of all we have to make a table, because it will be easy to solve this question if we make a table. So in this table, first you will write element, symbol. If you want to write symbol, then you can write symbol. Next column is percentage of element, atomic mass of element, number of moles, then simplest molar ratio and simplest whole number molar ratio. So here three elements are present: sodium, sulfur and oxygen. And percentage of sodium is 29.11%, percentage of sulfur is 40.51%, percentage of oxygen is 30.38%. Then we will write atomic mass of element. Atomic mass of sodium is 23, sulfur 32, oxygen 16. Now we will calculate number of moles of sodium. So here formula is given mass divided by atomic mass. So here percentage of element is given. So that means 29.11 gram of sodium is present. So here given mass divided by atomic mass, it is equal to 1.266. That is number of moles of sodium. Now sulfur, as you can see here, that 40.51 sulfur is present. So given amount divided by atomic mass, that is 32, it is equal to 1.266. And for oxygen, number of moles are 30.38 divided by 16, and it is equal to 1.897. Now we will move to next column, that is simplest molar ratio. So here 1.266, 1.266 and 1.897. Out of these three, 1.266 is the least number. So we have to divide all the numbers by the least number. So 1.266 is divided by 1.266, and here also, and here 1.897 is divided by 1.266. It is equal to 1, 1 and 1.5. Now in next column, simplest whole number molar ratio. That means you have to convert these fraction into a whole number. Now as you can see here, this is 1.5. Now no atom can be present in fraction, so we will convert this into whole number. So we have to use a least number, because when we will multiply 1.5 by 2, then it will convert into 3, and 3 is a whole number. So here we will multiply 1, 1 and 1.5 with 2. So 2 into 1, 2, 2 into 1, 2 and 2 into 1.5 is equal to 3. Remember, here we have to use the least number. We cannot use number greater than 2, because when 2 is multiplied with 1.5, we are getting a whole number. So we cannot choose any other number other than 2. So simplest whole number ratio is 2 to 3. So empirical formula is Na2S2O3, because sodium 2, sulfur 2, oxygen 3. So empirical formula is Na2S2O3. So this is how you can find out empirical formula by the given percentage of an element. Now we will move to next topic, limiting reagent. What is limiting reagent? The reactant which is present in lesser amount and react completely in the reaction, hence it limits the amount of product. So suppose we have a reaction in which A reactant reacts with B and it will result into formation of C. Now A react completely with B and then it forms C. So here 1 mole of A completely react with 1 mole of B. So if you will take amount of B as 2 moles, so what will happen? That 1 mole of A will completely react with 1 mole of B. So how much B will remain left? Yes, 1 mole. 1 mole of B will remain left. That means B is present in excess amount. If B is present in excess amount, then we will say that this is excess reagent. So that means A is present in less amount. So A is limiting reagent. Limiting means which limits the amount of product, because amount of product depends on the limiting reagent. Now we will understand limiting reagent concept with the help of one example. So here question is that 3 gram hydrogen react with 29 gram oxygen to form water. Part 1, which is the limiting reagent? So you have to tell that out of hydrogen and oxygen, which one is the limiting reagent. Remember students, just by looking at the amount of the reagents, we cannot tell that which one is the limiting reagent. Here 3 gram of hydrogen react with 29 gram of oxygen. So you cannot say that it is 3 gram, it is 29 gram, so this is a limiting reagent. No. Because as you can see, when we balance any chemical reaction, so it is also a possibility that 1 mole completely react with 3 moles of other substance. So it is not always that 50% of the reactant completely react with 50%. So number of moles can vary. So just by looking at the amount, we cannot predict the limiting reagent. So we have to solve this question. So before solving the question, you have to write the chemical equation. So here we will write chemical equation. So hydrogen plus oxygen will give water. When you will balance this equation, you will write here 2 and here 2. So stoichiometric coefficient here is 2 and here also 2. Now question is in gram. So you will also write the amount of hydrogen and oxygen water in gram. So here you will calculate molecular mass of hydrogen, that is 2 into 1 multiplied with 2, 4 gram. So according to chemical equation, we have to write their amount. So 4 gram of hydrogen react with 32 gram of oxygen and it gives 36 gram of water. This amount is according to chemical equation. So always before solving questions of limiting reagent, first you have to write chemical equation and then you have to write their amount. If in question the reagents are given in gram, then you have to write it into gram. So that means 4 gram hydrogen reacts with 32 gram of oxygen, which will result into formation of 36 gram of water. Now we will move to next step, that is that 4 gram hydrogen react with 32 gram of oxygen. Okay. Here we will use unitary method. So 1 gram hydrogen reacts with 32 divided by 4. In question, 3 gram hydrogen reacts with 29 gram of oxygen. So we want to find out that 3 gram of hydrogen reacts with is equal to 32 divided by 4 into 3 gram of oxygen, which is equal to 24 gram. This is the required amount of oxygen. That means 3 gram of hydrogen completely reacts with 24 gram of oxygen. And we came to know about this from the chemical equation. Okay, so 24 gram of oxygen is required to completely react with 3 gram of hydrogen. But in question, how much amount of oxygen is given? 29 gram. And hydrogen needs only 24 gram. So that means this oxygen is present in excess amount, right? So this is excess reagent. So which one is limiting reagent? Hydrogen is limiting reagent. So always when you find limiting reagent, first you have to write chemical equation, then you have to write their amount, you have to calculate their molecular mass, then you have to compare reactants, that 4 gram reactant reacts with 32 gram of oxygen. Then you will use unitary method, and by this way you will able to find out that how much amount of reactant is required to completely react with other reactant, and in this way you will able to find out limiting reagent. Now second part of this question is that calculate the maximum amount of water that can be formed. Okay, now you have to tell amount of product. So this is the chemical equation, right? So here 4 gram of hydrogen reacts with 32 gram of oxygen to give 36 gram of water. Now as you can see here, that limiting reagent controls the amount of product. So in first part we compared amount of reactants. Now in second part we will compare limiting reagent with the product. So here 4 gram of hydrogen gives 36 gram of water. Okay, 4 gram of hydrogen reacts with oxygen to give 36 gram of water. So 1 gram of hydrogen will react with oxygen to give 36 by 4 gram of water. Now 3 gram of hydrogen, which is given in question, will react with oxygen to give 36 by 4 into 3 is equal to 27 gram water. So this is the amount of water which we will get when 3 gram of hydrogen will react with oxygen. So this is part 2. Now we will move to part 3. Calculate amount of oxygen left unreacted. Now given amount of oxygen is 29 gram. This 29 gram of oxygen is given in question. But only 25 gram of oxygen reacts with 3 gram of hydrogen. So 29 minus 24 is equal to 5 gram. That means 5 gram oxygen is left unreacted. So this is how you will question based on limiting reagent. Now we will discuss homework solution of lecture number 7. So question number 2 of NCERT exercise, calculate mass percent of different element present in Na2SO4, sodium sulfate. So here we will use formula of mass percentage. Now mass of a given component divided by total molecular mass into 100, and here we will get mass percentage. So here we will find out molar mass of sodium sulfate. Atomic mass of sodium is 23 and there are 2 atoms of sodium, so 2 into 23 plus atomic mass of sulfur is 32 plus atomic mass of oxygen is 16 and 4 atoms of oxygen, so 4 into 16, that is equal to 142 gram per mole. Now mass percentage of sodium, here 46, because as there are 2 atoms of sodium, so 2 into 23, that is 46, divided by molar mass of sodium sulfate, that is 142 into 100. It will comes equal to 32.39%. In the same way, we will find out mass percentage of sulfur and oxygen. Atomic mass of sulfur is 32 divided by molar mass of sodium sulfate into 100, that is equal to 22.54%. And mass percentage of oxygen is equal to 4 into 16. Because atomic mass of oxygen is 16, and as in sodium sulfate there are 4 atoms of oxygen are present, so 4 into 16 divided by molar mass of sodium sulfate 142 into 100, that is equal to 45.07%. This is question number 2. Now we will move to next question, that is question number 7. So in question number 7, how much copper can be obtained from 100 gram of copper sulfate? An atomic mass of copper is given, that is 63.5 atomic mass unit. So here first of all we will calculate molar mass of copper sulfate. So 1 mole copper sulfate contains 1 mole copper. Look here, 1 mole copper sulfate contains 1 mole copper. So here we will find out molar mass of copper sulfate. So atomic mass of copper is 63.5 plus atomic mass of sulfur is 32 plus atomic mass of oxygen is 16. 4 atom of oxygen, so 4 into 16. So here we can find out molar mass of copper sulfate. Now copper that can be obtained from 159.5 gram copper sulfate is 63.5 gram. The meaning of this line is that in 159.5 gram of copper sulfate, amount of copper present is equal to 63.5 gram. Now copper that can be obtained from 1 gram copper sulfate, it will be 63.5 divided by 159.5, and we have to find out that how much copper that can be obtained from 100 gram of copper sulfate. So 63.5 divided by 159.5 into 100 gram, it will comes equal to 39.81 gram. So here this is the answer. Now next question is question number 22. If the speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, calculate the distance covered by light in 2 nanosecond. Students, formula of distance is speed into time. Speed is given, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, and time is 2 nanosecond. So here we will convert nanosecond into second. So here we will multiply 2 nanosecond with 10 to the power minus 9 second by 1 nanosecond. 1 nanosecond is cancelled out by this. So here answer will be 6 into 10 to the power minus 1 meter or 0.600 meter. Now we will discuss two questions of lecture number 6. Question number 5 and question number 6. They were left from the discussion. So now we will discuss these questions. So question number 5 is, calculate the mass of sodium acetate required to make 500 ml of 0.375 molar aqueous solution. And molar mass of sodium acetate is given, that is 82.0245 gram per mole. So in this question, first of all, we will write formula of molarity. Molarity is equal to given mass divided by molar mass into 1 by volume of solution in liter. Now we will put all the values. Molarity in the question is given, as you can see here, that 0.375 molar. So by unit we can identify that this is molarity. So we will put value here, and given mass that we have to calculate the mass of sodium acetate, which is solute here. Now molar mass is also given of sodium acetate, that is 82.0245. So we will put value and into. Now we have to put here volume of solution. As you can see here, that unit is ml. Okay, and we have to make 500 ml of solution. So this is volume. So volume of solution is 500 ml. But unit is ml, so we have to convert ml into liter. So here we will write 1000. You see 500 divided by 1000. So when 1000 will go in numerator, it will become like this and unit will be in liter. When you will solve this, we can easily find out value of given mass in gram. This is question number 5. Now we will do question number 6. Calculate the concentration of HNO3 acid in moles per liter. Now moles per liter is the unit of molarity. So that means we have to calculate molarity in this question, which has a density 1.41 gram per ml and mass percent of HNO3 in it being 69%. Density is given and mass percentage of nitric acid is also given, which is 69%. Now what is the meaning of 69%? 69% nitric acid means 69 gram HNO3 is present in 100 grams solution. Okay, because total percent is 100. So 69 gram nitric acid is present in 100 gram solution. So that means here HNO3 is solute. So amount of solute is given, that is 69 gram. And total amount of solution is also given, that is 100 gram. So here first of all we will write here formula that molarity is equal to given mass divided by molar mass into 1 by volume of solution in liter. Now what is given in this question? Given mass of solute, that is nitric acid. We just find out that it is 69 gram. So here we will put value 69 gram. Okay. Molar mass of HNO3 is, here we can calculate. It is 63 gram per mole. So here we will put the value. Now volume of solution is unknown and molarity is also unknown. So in question we have to calculate molarity. But for that we have to put value of volume of solution. Now we can calculate volume of solution from density, which is given in the question. Okay. So here we will use the formula of density, that is mass of the solution divided by volume of solution. Now total mass of solution is given, that is 100 gram. Density is also given, that is 1.41 gram per ml, and volume is unknown. So here we will calculate volume, that is equal to 70.92 ml. Now we will put the value of volume in this equation, equation number 1. Okay. So when we will put the value, then molarity is equal to 69 by 63 into 70.92. Now as you can see, this volume is in milliliter, so we will convert milliliter into liter. So it will comes equal to 15.44 mole per liter. This is answer of question number 6 of NCERT exercise. Okay, that's all for today, students. Now your homework of lecture number 9 is you have to solve NCERT exercise question number 1, 3, 4, 8, 9, 23, 24, 34, 35 and 36. If you have any doubt and question, you can tell me in comment box. Like and subscribe this channel. Thank you and have a nice day.